Hey folks, this is Matt. Today we've got a project to prepare for another one. So we're beginning to prepare our fall garden, and in order to do that, we need to take care of a little bit of a drainage issue, if you will. The soil we have around our house doesn't drain very well, so I'm going to be putting in a French drain sort of in and around where we're going to put some raised beds. So I've already dug this up. You guys didn't necessarily need to see that. Did that with the tractor. Took all but 15 minutes. But so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a level and check the grade to make sure we have the proper slope so that the water can run where it needs to go. So we're going with a 1 degree slope, which means we want 1 inch of drop for every 8 feet of run. So it's basically 1%, so 1 out of 100, which is actually 1 inch for 96 inches, but it's pretty stinking close. So we're gonna go with 1 inch for every 8 feet. So I'm gonna put this on time lapse, let you guys just kind of see how I go about siting grade and getting everything level. There will be some manual labor involved, some shoveling, but you know, that's just kind of part of the process. But yeah, so we'll get to it. All right, so here I'm using marking paint to designate every 8 feet of run. I'm doing this so I can measure the drop over a given period of distance. So at every orange mark, I'm going to want to see the elevation drop by a minimum of 1 inch from the previous mark. I'm doing this using a self-leveling rotary laser, a laser receiver, and a grading rod. The particular model I'm using is a Bosch GLL150 ECK, which is a kit and comes with each of those components. The kit is accurate to 3/16 of an inch at 100 feet. Pretty stinking accurate in my opinion. Now the ditch closest to you is our starting point, so we want to see at least 1 inch of elevation drop from the starting point to the first mark, and then another inch of drop at the second mark for a total of 2 inches in elevation drop from the starting point to the second mark. All right, so we are done with grading. We are at 1+% slope. As you may have been able to tell, I'm not as efficient as I would like to be with the laser level, primarily because I just don't use it that often, and you have to kind of relearn things. But we did get it done in about, I don't know, about an hour, so it went okay. Anyway, so the next step is I have some soil separator cloth that I'm going to lay out the length of this, and then I'm going to lay the perforated corrugated pipe that you see here behind me. Just so you know, this has slots every valley, so it's able to pick up and discharge a lot of water. And then after we get the pipe laid, we're going to put some 57, probably granite, it's just about the only thing I can get, some 57 granite down over the top of the pipe, then cover the pipe and the rocks back over with soil separator, and then cover everything up with the soil we have. And then everything else we have left over will go in our raised garden beds on the bottom. So yeah, we're in good shape. We're gonna go get some rock tomorrow, and then we'll just keep filming and you get to see the process. So hope you're enjoying it. All right, so I am heading to the place where I get rock and mulch. It's called All Seasons, and it's run by a guy locally here. They have all sorts of materials, and they also do work on the side. For example, my neighbor hired them to do our long drive, which you just saw in that clip. They have reasonable prices, so you can basically buy at wholesale. For example, I think a a yard of 57 granted is probably about $55. They don't sell it by the ton because a ton is too hard for consumers generally to understand. So anyway, I'm heading there now and realize that you guys have never really seen some of the really beautiful road we have here. So I thought I'd give you a view. Here you go. All right, folks, so what we're going to do today is continue our French drain. So we got the grade where we wanted it, so the water will flow away from where it's originating. Next step is we're going to get this fabric, this roll of fabric right here. We're going to roll it out, measure it, cut it, and then lay it flat in the trench we have. Once we get that done, we're going to roll out the corrugated pipe. We're going to measure that, we're going to cut it, and we're going to lay that in the hole. After we're done with that, we're going to take our 57 slag, which we got instead of granite because it's more cost effective. We will dump slag in on top of the pipe up to probably an inch or two above the pipe, and then we're going to cover the slag with the fabric and then secure the fabric so it doesn't move. And then next step will be to cover the fabric and the rock and the pipe with the dirt, and then we should be basically done. So let's get going. Alright, you can see that we are covering it up, and then I realized that we did it the wrong way and decided to flip it back the other way so that when we're pushing the dirt in, it doesn't open up the fabric. All right, so we are done. Big thanks to my buddy Beckett here for helping me shovel rock and helping me put the rock in the right place. Couldn't have done it without you, buddy. Okay, so we made a lot of progress. It took about, I don't know, 2 hours. So we went pretty quick. We got the fabric down, we got the rock, we got the pipe down with the rock on top of the pipe and the fabric on top of the rock, and then the dirt on top of the fabric, right? Mm-hmm. And so now, the intent behind this, if I haven't explained it yet, is this area over here, more over here, tends to gather water. So the grade kind of comes down to here, and there's a little lip over there. We plan to put our garden right over here because, as you can see, it gets nice morning sun for the most part. And then the trees over there, so this is basically due south. We're looking right at you, due south. The trees over here help block the afternoon sun. So after the sun comes up and goes that direction, the garden gets a nice bit of shade in the afternoon. So we didn't want the garden to basically be waterlogged. So this French drain is going to help move some of that water away from us. And I tell you what I'll do is I'm going to put a link to a video that really helps someone that doesn't understand the concept of a French drain to visualize what it looks like. So check out the video here. These guys do a great job of installing French drains and all kinds of drainage systems, and they took time out of their day to create a video with some clear corrugated pipe that shows how the water flows and the science behind corrugated pipe, rather than just like a flat slick pipe like PVC. The corrugation helps create turbulence that helps carry the materials down the pipe rather than letting it settle, which you would think it would, but it doesn't. Anyway, so the link's there, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Next up is going to be some, I think that's a hawk. Next up is going to be some raised garden beds over here. We're going to do a 24-foot that turns into an L. So it's 24 on one side and 16 on the other. And then another probably 14 or 13 foot next to it. And then after that, which is the most exciting, and I've been looking forward to do for a long, long time, is rain catchment. We have two 2,500 gallon tanks on the way, and we'll get them in the next few weeks. They're coming from Georgia. And then we have a pressure tank and a water pump and a bunch of PVC, and then also a bunch of pre-filtration. So like the leaf eaters, the things that you put right under your downspout on your gutters. So that'll help pre-filter before it goes into the tank. But that's up next. I'm going to show you, there's a little picture of what we're doing that I put together over the last week or so. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Please, please, please hit subscribe down here and hit that little bell. When you hit that little bell, it will notify you when a new video is out. So, hope you guys enjoyed. See you soon. Bye.